Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin this honest proceeding, since the prayer song was not complete, by a strange coincidence, I have a friend of mine who is a civil contractor, whose grandfather was a subcontractor when this building was built in the year 1890. I requested him to sing two songs. One song about the father of the nation, since we are celebrating the 50th year of the Quit India movement. Another song in our Rutpa, which is the quintessence of love, compassion, and Jivakarika. May I request Mr. Tyagarajan to
Gandhi Polo Santa Surupani Kandagum Devidamo Mahatma Gandhi Polo Santa Surupani Kandagum Devidamo Mandarile Janayogam Nigundava Mandarile Janayogam Nigundava Mandarile Janayogam Nigundava Vendarile Suyananam Sivitumilla Vendarile Suyananam Sivitumilla Gandhi Polo Santa Surupani Kandagum Devidamo குழந்தை உள்ளமும் அங்கு கணித மொழியும் கொண்டு குழந்தை உள்ளமும் அங்கு கணித மொழியும் கொண்டு பொறுமைகளை சகித்தார்களும் சித்தான் குழந்தாய் நிறந்தாய் மோகன பொன்மடை படன படங்கள் தரும்பெழும் சித்தன்னே காந்தியை போனோரு சாந்த சொரூபனை காண்பதும் எளிதாமோ
former past president, Mr. G. Maslamani, Secretary of the Advocates Association, D.B. John, my Lord, in welcoming you, my Lord the Chief Justice, I am honored by your accepting our invitation. I never expected this function to be as momentous and special as it turned out to be. It was to be a simple function, symbolic of the fact that we are celebrating the 100th year of this building. But now, by your presence, Madam, you have enhanced this function to one of a memorable one. When my secretary went to invite you, you felt that this function should have been celebrated on that particular day, namely the 12th of July 1992. But I felt that you who have found a place in our heart, no function will be complete without your presence, and therefore this function was adjourned today, and I am deeply touched and honored by your presence. My Lord Justice Mishra, when the Secretary went to invite you, you perhaps rightly said that the Chief Justice speaks for the whole bench and there was no need for you to make an address, but at the same time you were kind enough to accept our invitation. Breaking protocol, I called on you and requested you to say a few words so that it would be a momentous occasion in which the members of the bar will remember this function, and you readily accepted it. Sir, not very far away from the campus of this High Court, there stands a statue of a very famous and eminent physician, Dr. Gursamadhyay, facing the central station. Just below that statue, there is a small plaque, because nobody knows who contributed to that statue. There is a small plaque engraved in marble which says, "Friend of the Poor." Sir, when you lay down your office, and when your portrait no doubt will adorn the photos of this court, whether your name is there or not, there will be this engraving. I am sure of this, and I thank you with the bottom of my heart for you to have accepted this invitation and come here this morning. My Lord, Mr. Justice Lakshmanan needs no introduction to this association. He's been a friend, philosopher, and guide of this association. Whenever we had problems which confronted this association, we have always turned to you for a solution, and you have on your, and under the able and dynamic leadership of Mr. Maslamani, that the 125th centenary function was celebrated in a grand scale. And to you, sir, we will always say, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to this association. Mr. Advocate General, we are delighted you're here because you have been a bridge between not only the bar and the bench, but between the bench and the executive. Sir, all I can say is you have done many favors for us which involve the interest of the association in your own sweet way with the powers that be. And I hope when you decide to accept the judgeship, I'll be here, still here, to welcome you. And I thank you once again for coming here this morning and to be amongst us. We have a special visitor today, Mr. Jagal Barayan. As you know, this is not only the 100th centenary function of this High Court, it is also the 50th year of the Quit India movement. Sir, you have suffered imprisonment not because you were an economic offender or you were detained under coffee quota. You suffered imprisonment along with the great stalwarts of Indian independence like Mahatma Gandhi and all the numerous people who were members of this illustrious association. For me, it's an honor, and it's an honor to welcome you to this association. I'm very grateful for your way to come. Now, I know we are here to celebrate the centenary of this building. It is a symbolic celebration because when we say this building has stood the test of time, we are telling ourselves that our judiciary has stood the test of time. And we are telling ourselves that the judiciary will continue to stand the test of time. Only to that extent we are celebrating this function. Except, I may add, casually, that this building still holds good as an congenial court with its proper ventilation and its excellent arrangements that are inside the court. I would like you all to participate in the lunch that comes after this and stay on. Now, there has been a request by the members of this association, and without in any way embarrassing the judiciary, I would be failing in my duty if I don't place this request before the Honorable Justice. My Lord the Chief Justice, you are aware from the records that we were to be allotted another room because of the paucity of space, and that was to be in the 6th Court Hall. And we were, I think, almost granted this room during the tenure of my Lord Justice Lakshman when he was the Secretary of this association. For some reason, that was not granted to us. That was not granted to us. I say this because we do a great service to the institution of the bar, because there are many people who do not have chambers to use the association as their chamber. Apart from that, there are many grand and wonderful senior advocates who are willing to contribute handsomely to our library, but we have no place to place the books. I think it would be pertinent to note that the books which are part and parcel of this library also finds a place in the High Court whenever an advocate wants to use it. And I hope, without causing any embarrassment, my Lord the Chief Justice, you will consider our request as early as possible and as expeditiously as possible. And with these few words, I welcome you once again from the bottom of my heart and request my Lord the Chief Justice to pay his respects.
Sweet as Ministry, Honorable Justice Lakshman, about whose services there was a great reference by Mr. Kumar Rajaratnam, and no surprise, Lakshman, younger brother of Lord Rama, is the symbol of sacrifice. Mr. Ravindra, Secretary of the Association, respected Sandal Bajum, I may not be able to pronounce it. My learned brothers and sisters on the bench, respected members of this respected association. I am highly thankful to God Almighty to send me here, and still more thankful to the President of this association, to this building. I am of the opinion is of the type which it is impossible to find for its beauty, splendor, magnification, and power in India. We can imagine, as I am told, and as the record shows, there was a great procession with the governor of this state and Chief Justice Arthur Collins. It is told that the years prior to that, the High Court was in the building just opposite the harbour, which is presently utilized as Forest Administrative Office, the Collector's Office, but in common parlance, it is still known as the Old High Court. Thus, it was in the year 1862, that in pursuance of the Indian High Court Act passed in the year 1861, that the Supreme Court of the state and the Southern Court amalgamated to bring into existence the High Court of Madras. It was at that time that the sister high courts of equal caliber in Bombay and splendid monument-like building is not found anywhere. Construction of the building started somewhere in the year 1888. It took 4 years for its completion. We are thankful and grateful and gratitude to the engineers, architects, and the laborers who shed their sweat in erecting this magnificent building. The initial estimate of the cost of construction, even during those days when the Indian oil had very much high value, was 9,45,000. Then, after 4 years, when it was finished and completed, the actual cost came to 12,98,163 rupees. I will mention that it is not a fair visit which attracts the person. It is the high quality of head and heart that carries importance. So while adorning and admiring the beauty and splendor of this building, I have in mind the illustrious judges that sat and judged, the eminent advocates that stood and argued, and I also imagine and admire the attitude of the then Chief Justice Sir Arthur Collins. It is said that when he received the silver key of the building, I don't know where the silver key is. It is not traceable now, nor does the record show that any case under Former 9 was. So at the time when the silver key was entrusted to the then Chief Justice Sir Arthur Collins, he, along with his 5 only judge colleagues, pressed his judiciary to the public at large and pronounced that now onwards in this magnificent building there will be imparted justice with fear of God, without fear of man, without any consideration of caste, creed and class. And we feel proud that the succeeding generation maintains that word of the then Chief Justice, and the judiciary and the eminent bar members of this place have made a name in the Indian history of judiciary. So building, it is always a subject of criticism of the present day that on both the sides the intellect is going down. It has been made a subject of criticism everywhere in the world and especially in our country that the advocates selecting and opting this noble profession do not take it to be as noble as it should be taken to. The judges sitting on the bench do not have that sense of sacrifice which is expected of this august office. But I can say with pride that the advocates of Madras High Court and the judges adorning the chairs in the court have maintained that high standard of justice. While coming to this association today, in the way I came from this corridor where the statue of Muthuswami Iyer, the first Indian judge, and Dr. Rajmanaf, the first Chief Justice of India, are adorning the corridor of this magnificent building, lending splendor to it. We will take homage to the constructors of the building and those who brought this construction into existence. Only when in our generation, in the generation to come, the justice will be imparted and there will be strength from strength in the bar and the bench. I know little about this place, but within this short period, whatever I have known is too much to fill up with me with joy. And I tell you that we should not be content with the augustness, magnificent splendor of the building, which has its historical anecdotes and antecedents, but strive further and to see that people may say that this building and the work done in it had illustrious past, significant present, and it will surely have bright future. There are other speakers of the day who know more about this place and who can express better, and therefore I have to be excused to take my seat and leave room for the other speakers of the day with whom you are also anxious to hear. Thank you.
My esteemed brothers and sisters who are the judges of this court, and learned friends at the bar. It was an accident, I would say, that I came to Madras. But until then I had not realized that accidents benefit so much. That I will be one of the inheritors of the greatest traditions of the Indian judiciary, and will sit as a judge in a court which was not only in the past, even today, is a symbol of justice and learning. While I came apprehensive and felt fulfilled soon after my arrival, when I saw how this bar being today is representing its past glory, and the judges are maintaining the greatest of the traditions. The occasion, as my Lord the Chief Justice rightly said, is more memorable, not only on account of the magnificence of the building, but on account of the ideals and the ideas it symbolizes. And when I decided to come, I felt humble and in a way responsible also. Do I deserve? And I think all of you must be asking the same question. Do I deserve the heritage? But for all of us, because a great heritage carries with it a great responsibility also. If the heritage is big, responsibilities are bigger. Because if you do not stand to the values which the heritage represents, then you devalue not the heritage, yourself. And it is with this belief and faith, when I sat as a judge in this court, I looked towards the lawyers, members of the bar. And if you remember, at my first address at this bar meeting, I had said, well, don't come to tell me what good things I have done, but surely come and tell me where I have gone wrong. Well, this great tradition will be symbolized in future by what we shall do today. And if today we do not realize the responsibility, tomorrow we shall be blamed for the devaluation. One thing which is not generally appreciated, but which I have noticed in abundance in the bar of this court, is the change that has been brought in after independence in the system of justice by not suddenly changing the traditional adversary system of justice, but by introducing slowly into it elements of judges and lawyers coming to aid the who are underprivileged by raising class litigation. And if I am not wrong, the first class litigation in India was raised in Madras. And the first change with us in this regard, departing from the usual adversary system of justice, came from Madras only. That has almost become an institution today. And the Supreme Court has recognized its importance. And I am happy to see our sister, Mrs. Padmini Yesudhira, is present. She is representing the court for the purposes of the public interest case. Pre-independence bar of India was a community of elites, was a community of rich, was a community of privileged people who were educated abroad. Please excuse me for saying this. And I have an experience of it, that even when I had become a lawyer, and I had to take a decision to join one or the other association of the lawyers in the Patna High Court, I was told, you are not a barrister, therefore you are not eligible to be a member of the bar association. But post-independence changes have brought in the bar in general young men coming from the young men and women coming from the middle class, peasantry, and such other classes of people who perhaps without there being a perceptible change in message would not have entered or dared to enter the group of elites who were commanding the courts in India. Their entry slowly has today got a day when, besides the barrister, the other advocates also are eligible to be the members of the bar association of the court, and they are today constituting the bulk of the bar. I have said this with a purpose. Many of the older generation think that what is happening today in the court is a determination or a devaluation of the tradition that the court represented. If you are sticking to the rules that were put on a day when only elite could enter the bar, if you stick to the rules when only those who had some sponsors in England could become judges of the court, then yes, there is a deterioration, there is only a deterioration. But those are the values which we must reject today. And unless we reject those values and honor the values which we have created as Indians in India, unless we go by the values which we now cherish as true and good for us, we will not appreciate them. And we must appreciate the young lawyers who are coming on the doorstep of the court without knowing today what they are expected to do in the court. We have to tell them, we have to teach them, and we have to put them online. And if we don't do it, we can't escape the responsibility by blaming them that they are no good. So if the present generation is not good, and if that is what we are going to say, we have to blame ourselves. And 2 days ago, when the Secretary of Road Association met me, I told him that our awareness about the existence of a court building for more than 100 years should not be understood as our in any manner not requiring a new building. I said this not because I do not like this building. It is one of the best in the country. And perhaps it may withstand the time for another 100 years or more. But every day I am listening to the reports of inadequacy. Somebody is coming saying we don't have urinal facilities. Somebody coming to say we don't have sufficient space, as your president today said. Somebody coming to say that, well, when we had formed our association, we had only this number of members. Now our membership has gone so high, we are in need of more space. Give more space to us. People thought when an active building will come, that will accommodate a number of people. That will ease the load on the old building. And perhaps the space problem will be solved. But then, little realizing that after the new building will come up, other deficiencies will be noticed. And Mr. Gandhi and Mr. Mahatma, people like them will come to say, well, if you ask us to go to the old building, do you ask us to go to a grave? So these are the problems which you are facing. Deliberate because it is a matter of deliberate. But then also consider how we shall together find out alternative to accommodate the growing workload as well as the growing number of judges, members of the staff and the lawyers who are coming to this court building. Therefore, I thought I shall share with you the happiness undoubtedly. Remind you that this is the occasion to be humble and realize the responsibility, but at the same time to tell you that this should not in any way deter us from looking for a new building, additional accommodation and expansion of the court so that the new judges who are coming, the new lawyers who are coming, additional members of the staff who are coming, all are accommodated. With these words, friends, I thought what I say should be treated as a postscript only to what our Honorable Chief Justice said. And it should be treated not as anything said by his judge, but by a member of the party. I say this because In Patna we have a tradition that members of the bar after becoming judges continue to pay their contribution and continue their number. And I made some inquiries about and I was informed that the Lakshman were not giving you must realize from him all the areas. And since we are being a defaulter, we must pay a penalty as well. And therefore he should be asked to make a lump sum contribution to the bar. Advocate General should also not be forgotten. I remember when such programs arose in Patna, and I was the president of one of the bar associations there. Then we thought how to raise funds. Well, we had members, like members here who can be making handsome contributions as your president told us. But then we thought, why we have a welfare government, and what we are doing as lawyers was that helps the government of the state as well, because the government of the state has a responsibility in the administration of justice. And we asked the then Advocate General Mr. Barbatu Prasad Singh, Barbatu Prasad Singh, to convey our message to the government that we need a good library, that we need improvements in the facilities provided to the lawyers by our association. And for that we need money, and the government has such money which is utilized for the development of such organizations and associations. Why that money should not be made available to us? And the first contribution which the government of Bihar made to the Advocate Association of the Patna High Court was a sum of 53 lakhs. The Advocate General should be reminded that here the bar may expect him also to ensure such a contribution. Whatever little people like me and Honorable Chief Justice can do, well, we are always ready and eager to do. Your demand for additional space has not gone unnoticed. And I have already asked in a file that the Chief Justice should be requested for a discussion. We can do that keeping in view the other demands. We have, as I told you, because I thought unless I feel facts about the inadequacy of the building, you may not be able to accept what I am telling you now. Well, we have been discussing and trying to find out how to accommodate best all the demands upon the building. Demands of the space, whether in the new building, in the old building, or whatever is available with us. The other thing which I wanted to add is that there is somehow a feeling that when we ask one or the other section to go to the new building, I mean the NXT which has been constructed, that is a sort of a penalty or that person is put to some disadvantage. But we have to share both advantages and disadvantages together. And in that, if we get cooperation of the members of the bar, I invite your representatives to see in the elective building where is such a space which can be of use to the members of the bar. And if such additional accommodation is made available, that may be the demand which you are making in this building, the old building. So some of you can see that and then come and tell us, come and tell Honorable Chief Justice. Because occupation of the new building by some of you will undoubtedly ease the pressure on the old building. So these words, very I'm thankful for the opportunity that you gave to me to come in this building and to have a chat. I have said only that which I feel right. If there is anything that which is not liked by you, please excuse me for that.
My Lord, before I request my Lord Mr. Lakshman to speak, maybe 5 minutes ago, that the first non-governor, M.R. Narayan was elected as president of this association during the tenure when the Justice Lakshman was appointed.
I was elected in also. Honorable Justice Mishra, Honorable Justice Arunachal, Honorable Justice Marvel, Honorable Justice Suresh, Honorable Justice Satar, former President of this association, Mr. Gandhi, President of the Madras High Court Advocates Association, my dear friends, and Mr. D. Maswamy, the past President of this association, and our Barrister President, Mr. Kumar. Anyway, he was taking that he is a barrister. I am delighted to participate in this morning function since I have been very closely associated with this association. I am proud to say that it was during my tenure as secretary of this association that the post-centenary celebrations took place. It was a memorable occasion, and I recall the words of the then President, Sri R. Venkataraman, in his message to the association. I quote, "The bench and the bar are two pillars on which the edifice of justice stands. It is essential for success of a democracy. I feel that a strong bar is an essential input for successful implementation of law and free flow of justice without favor or fear. This association has produced many giants both in the legal profession and in the movement for freedom spread. Late Prakasam, Dr. Subbarayan, Mr. Noble Kumar were all members of this association and who were in the forefront for the struggle for independence. There were many others who were part of this association. Mr. Chandravarayan, who is present here, is also a freedom fighter, is still an active member of our association. The list of legal luminaries who were members of this association is an endless one. I shall confine myself only to the office bearers of this association. Mr. P.S. Esiraj, Sir Nugent Grant, M.O. Parthasarathi, M.K. Nambiar have all held the high office of the president of this association. Incidentally, Mr. Parthasarathi was the first Indian president of this association. In the year 1984, when the first non-barrister was elected as president, I had the honor of serving in the committee. I am mentioning all this only to show what a great institution the Madras Bar Association is. And it is in fitness of things that they should celebrate the centenary of this grand High Court building. Even today, the building holds good up 100 years of wear and tear. One historical fact which might have escaped our attention is that an old temple of Chennai Kesava and Chennai Mandiswara temple were erected at this time. This is for the information of Honorable Chief Justice. And therefore, this building has been blessed by God. I remember the words of Chief Justice Ramachandra Iyer, who remarked as follows on the occasion of the High Court centenary. I quote, "On the site that the temple of God was located, that the temple of justice came to be there." I would like to say just a word or two about this great building. All the materials used in the construction of this building, except the steel girders and some ornamental siding, were manufactured locally. The style of the building was of Hindu Saracenic architecture, and it took nearly 4 years for completion. The novelty of this was the lighthouse tower. It has cross ventilation unlike the new building, and there has been an optimum use of space without in any way spoiling the architecture. The cost of the building was well near ₹13 lakhs. The High Court moved to this place on 12/7/1892. A building of this age and character is a constant source of inspiration for both the bench and the bar and to the litigant public. Barrister President Kumar Rajaratnam quoted the words of Chief Justice Sir Arthur Collins about Belmont. While handing over the key, the governor concluded with the words, I quote, "And now, my Lord the Chief Justice, I have pleasure in handing you the key as a token that the building has been entrusted to your hands by the government in full confidence that the administration of justice will be carried on with the ability and integrity that has always marked the Madras High Court. To you, my Lord, and to the other gentlemen who hold with you the high position of judges of this court, and to those gentlemen who occupy themselves in the honorable and learned profession of law, in all your hands the administration of justice may be safely left, and we may look forward for many years to come with the full knowledge and full satisfaction that the best years of your lives will be devoted to carrying on one of the noblest of works, the uninterrupted administration of justice. It is our singular good fortune that those honorable judges who have hailed from other states have been extremely kind, good and courteous to the members of the bar. I have been personally associated as a member of the bar both in my capacity as government leader and as secretary of this association, and I can tell you without fear of any contradiction that we will always remember judges like Govindan Nair, A.B.M. Singh, Justice Chandukar and Dr. A.S. Anand. Last but not the least, Justice Mishra and my Lord the Chief Justice. In my Lord the Chief Justice, we have seen compassion, kindness and courtesy not only to our brother judges but also to the members of legal fraternity and to the administrative staff. President Kumar Rajaratnam made a very reasonable request, and I know that there is that for chambers and that the number of members have increased. Many senior advocates like R. Krishnamurthy and Mr. Gandhi and N.C. Raghavachari and I put everybody senior advocates are prepared to contribute books to complete the library. So I have been making this request when I was secretary. But unfortunately, due to paucity of space, the association could not accept their views. But a time has now come when my Lord the Chief Justice will be happy to seriously consider the request of the President and with the inspiring personality like Justice Mishra, who is in charge of this. I have no doubt that this association will have a favorable reply to their genuine request. But I may tell that my Lord the Chief Justice, this idea of asking for additional accommodation was mooted when I was the secretary. I have been requesting the Honorable Judges. They said we will consider in the fashion of Samraj after Kupatma. They have been waiting. Of course, now that I have become a judge, I have not been engaged to argue that case. But as a past secretary of this association, I have a duty to request my Lord the Chief Justice and my revered brother Justice Mishra to allot hall number 6 for this association. Only thing we have to do is just to open the door so that the hall of the can be allotted to the members of this association. I am always known for making reasonable requests. So my Lord the Honorable sympathetically and then pass appropriate order by Monday. Honorable Justice Mishra made a request that I must also make my contribution to the association. Of course, I am not financially now sound. I am believing as oil I was making quite a lot of money, but now I am only getting 85,000 reduction. So any advocate who has got confidence on me can lend some money. Of course, I will repay without interest. I will not raise the fee of limitation. You have to patiently wait and then wait for my repayment. I will definitely make the contribution as and when I receive the money. This assurance I can give them. So I take this opportunity for the President and members of the Secretary of this association for having given me a golden opportunity to meet my own brothers and be with you for some time. I wish you all. Thank you.
T.S. Arunachalam, my Lord Justice Sadasivam, my Lord Justice Maradamuttu, my Lord Justice Padmini Jesudare, Mr. Kumar Rajaratnam, President of the Bar Association, Mr. Gandhi, President of the Advocates Association, Mr. Ravindran, Secretary, Madras Bar Association, Reverend Senior Members of the Bar, fellow members of the Bar, ladies and gentlemen. I deem it a great privilege to participate in the function organized by the Madras Bar Association to commemorate the 100th year of the Madras High Court building. Even though Madras High Court was born on the 15th August 1862, the High Court functioned in the first line days till 15th July 1892. It is more than 100 years since Justice Orange Collins of the Madras High Court, Chief Justice of the Madras High Court, was given charge of this magnificent building by the then Governor. It was built at a cost of 13 lakhs in those days. Without any fear of exaggeration, I can proudly tell you that ours is the best, magnificent and majestic buildings of the Chartered High Court and other High Courts in India. Mr. F.S. Nariman, Senior Advocate, during his first visit to our Madras High Court in the year 1977, has acknowledged this fact. Over the last 100 years, this institution has seen great and distinguished judges, eminent and outstanding lawyers, whose contribution to the administration of justice has no parallel in the history of this nation. I congratulate the President, Secretary and other office bearers of the Madras Bar Association for organizing this function in such a grand scale, and also I thank them for giving me this opportunity. I have no doubt that the great traditions of the Madras, great traditions set up by the Madras High Court will continue, and we will grow from strength to strength. Thank you.
I have taken the liberty of inviting him to address the gathering on the special occasion.
This week, sir, is a week of celebration of most notable historic events that have happened in our country. And some of us are really happy to be alive to participate in such celebration. Today we are gathered here to celebrate the 100 years of this High Court building. This High Court building, built brick by brick by the sweat and toil of hard-working laborers and honestly contractors, have lived for nearly 100 years. May I inform the distinguished gathering that when the First World War was on, it was in 1914 and 15. There was a bomb called as Emden bomb that fell on the eastern side and the southern corner of the Madras High Court building. Now I should only say the German bomb could not demolish the High Court building. Nothing else could have demolished. And this High Court building in a very respectful condition was first a High Court building. Then it became an edifice for justice. Eventually, it turned out to be a temple of justice. And therefore, we in Madras are proud of this building. It is not only for the magnificence of this building. It is not only for the structural safety of this building, but more than that, for the very many sanctifying associations and related memorials that this building beckons to us on every day we move on the corridors of this great court. What was this tradition of this great court? It was first an era of judicial classicism, then stalwarts of the bar, and even when we became for the purpose of various expositions of the constitutional law, of the golden contents of very many rights and remedies under the Constitution. And both the bar and the bench contributed in no small measure to the enrichment and the ennoblement of the literature under the constitutional law. Now therefore we feel today that this evolution of this building from stage after stage and step after step, today we are now in a great era of a vast expansion, not only of ideas, but more than that of the virtues and the values that we have to absorb as per our own condition. We are always glad that in the history of this High Court, we have had recently a real question of having learned judges, distinguished judges from other states of our country. I was one of those who stoutly opposed the transfer of judges, and I told my great leader, Srimati Indira Gandhi at that time, Madam, why disturb the tenure of judiciary in the United States? But later on, I found I was a penitent sinner in that view. And also, when we see persons of very great eminence and of high distinction have come to us. What about, I wouldn't refer to the previous incumbent that have adorned our High Court, but I will only refer it to my Lord, the Chief Justice, now as a present. Sir, we have the honor. And this building as God is going in, as may be steady as it were. But we are adding the first relationship. Now this may be the beginning, but certainly not the end. Because given now, many ladies entertain feel that one day they will become the teacher of this course or another course. But I am only conscious, friends, that this kind of judges coming from other sources not only create, contribute and preserve what we cherish called the national integration. The national integration has been spoiled by political monuments. But if today national integration is concerned, it is because of the judiciary that have now been intertwined throughout the length and breadth of our country. The Lord Jesus has come to us at a time when we are looking forward of new dispensation and of new interpretation of very many problems of our constitutional law and of our administrative law. And sir, we have got it here. May I say a tradition, may I say a part of our lives in the past, that we absorb everyone who comes to us. And they are so much absorbed that they lose their own native identity. And today, I am saying with very great respect, my Lord Justice Mishra is so much acclimatized to our condition that in spite of the humility of Madras, he seems to enjoy the Madras climate. And how much we cherish such an association. And sir, the Madras has got the reputation of absorbing and opening its gates to everyone who comes to us. You have said, my Lord Justice Mishra, that it was an accident that could come. No, it is not an accident. It is an incident not only in the growing expansion and of the elevation of the Madras High Court, but it is also, may I very respectfully say, an incident in your judicial career. Perhaps God will that you must endow all your acumen, all your knowledge, experience, and may say your wonderful sway of the questions of law will certainly be useful to us, and we therefore have become one with us. Lord, I will only conclude with this statement. The Madras Bar is known for its great historic evolution. We have a tradition for the independence of judiciary. Equally, we have a tradition of the independence of the bar. And equally, we have a heritage of interdependence both of bench and the bar. I am sure that we are going on together. The membership has its color. Each is starting their respective duty for the glorification of the justice and the dispensation of justice. People come day after day, year after year, and all these 100 years and perhaps more in the future, and people come to this High Court with a prayer in their petition. And when they go out, they go with justice in their hand. That is the tradition. And I am sure, sir, that this High Court building and this High Court at Madras has a commendable past. It has got a creditable present. And I am sure we going to have a confident future.
Before I conclude the proceedings, because if I invite any more speakers, I am fairly confident that Justice Mishra will oust me from my chair as the President of the Association. So it becomes so popular this afternoon. I call upon Ravi. Before I do this, I want to once again thank my Lord the Chief Justice. I know that she's got a lot of judicial work, administrative work, and to look after the subordinate judiciary. In spite of it, she has come and spared the afternoon during the weekend, and once again grateful to you. I call upon Mr. Ravi.
present, the Honorable Chief Justice, the Honorable Mr. Justice Mishra, the Honorable Mr. Justice Lakshmana, Learned Advocate General, Mr. Sangal Ryan, Learned Honorable Judges, Learned Senior Advocates and friends. I consider this day as a day of remembrance and a day of thanksgiving. 100 years ago, this magnificent building was handed over to a then Chief Justice. Let us remember the good men among our erstwhile rulers, the British, who thought of constructing this beautiful building to house the greatest court in this country. Let us thank them. I go one step further and think of the British with great intellect, who thought of teaching us English, who thought of bringing modern education to our country, who thought of introducing the British legal system which stood the test of time. The English language played a vital role in our freedom struggle. It was through their language our national leaders like Sangal Ryan questioned the authority of the British to remain in this country and asked them to quit our country. It was through this language our national leaders aroused the consciousness of our people to fight against the British. It was through this language our immortal leaders solicited support for our freedom struggle from other countries and got it. Through this language we became familiar with immortal poets like Keats, Shelley, Wordsworth, Byron and Milton. Let us remember those good men among the British who thought of teaching us this beautiful language. Let us remember those educationists who brought the modern education, the system of syllabus, colleges, universities, etc. from beyond 6,000 miles to our country, and let us thank them. The British legal system, which is the greatest legacy inherited by us, was given on a golden platter to us. This system, which emphasizes on individual freedom, is the culmination of ceaseless, arduous, often bloody struggle of freedom-loving people of England for over 1,000 years. Long ago, the king was considered to be the representative of God, and his word was law. Over centuries, the English people fought for their rights and slowly wrested power from the monarch and transferred it to the House of Commons. Today, all of us know the British monarch is only a symbolic head of state. This continuous struggle for individual freedom and the establishment of rule of law and supremacy of Parliament produced immortal souls in the British constitutional history. How can we forget those great men who drafted Magna Carta and assertion of rights as between the crown and the subjects? King John, who reigned between 1199 and 1216, was a tyrant. He set a defiance of all laws, both human and divine. He not only taxed and fined his subjects with an open disregard of all legal restraints, but was guilty of acts of cruelty rivaling those of Nero. The barons of England rose against the king and forced him to sign the great charter of demands called Magna Carta at Runnymede on 15 June 1215. The most important clause in Magna Carta is the one concerning the personal liberty of citizens. No free man, I quote that clause, no free man shall be taken or imprisoned or deceased or outlawed or exiled or anyway destroyed, nor will we go upon him, nor will we send upon him, unless by the lawful judgment of his peers or by the law of the land. This has been incorporated in the US Constitution as due process of law, and our Article 21 of our Constitution has incorporated it as procedure established by law. It is amazing that they would have developed a due process clause and procedure established by law 700 years back. Let us thank them for giving this great legacy. My Lord Chief Justice, I thank you. You are always kind and considerate to the members of the bar in general, in particular to our association and our members. When our President and I went to her with the proposal to have this function, she said that we should celebrate it on 1st of July, the exact date on which the centenary fell. But as she had to go to the Rajasthan on the 11th, We decided to have it today so that our Chief Justice could grace the occasion by her presence, though she wanted us to go on with the function. We are happy and proud to have a Chief Justice who is active and takes keen interest in the activities of our association. Thank you, my Lord. I thank Honorable Mr. Justice Mishra. The people of Tamil Nadu, sir, have named you as a revolutionary judge. You are the one who dislikes following the beaten track, but finds innovative ways of rendering speedy justice to the poor and the downtrodden. He always understands the difficulties of people who come as litigants before him. Similarly, he will understand our difficulty of shortage of accommodation and association. As the High Court cannot provide chambers for all the advocates who want to have chambers, I understand that demand for more than 200 chambers. It becomes necessary for us to admit new members. More members means more accommodation. I hope that His Lordship will sympathetically consider our request for more accommodation. Honorable Mr. Justice Lakshmanan, I thank you for having agreed to address us. Though 2 years have passed since you left us to adorn the high office, still we feel that you are part of us and with us. The halls of our association are still reverberating with your thunderous laughter, which we miss you very much. Your ready wit was a treat to us, which also we miss. I thank you, my Lord. I thank. No,
please announce. I am not in hurry.
the former president was outside.
You have to check the record. I have paid to the former president. You have to check the record.
I thank our learned Advocate General and Mr. Sengal Ryan for having agreed to address this August gathering. I thank all the honorable judges and the learned senior advocates and friends. I thank the press and the TV and the Guild of Service for doing the second service. And our special thanks to our former president, Mr. Vasramani, who was responsible for writing materials for the planners and placards, because he always likes writing. So we entrusted the job of writing to him. So I thank one and all. I request once again all of you to remain for lunch.
The national anthem.
Thank you.